I'm here to speak on behalf of my family and the members of my family that are currently students of the Farmington School District. My wife and I are both lifelong residents of Farmington and graduates of Farmington High School, as well as our children, our brothers, our sisters, our nieces, our nephews, and so on. We hold much pride and respect for this great school district, which always has and continues to play a role in our lives as members of this community. The reason I am speaking this evening is about the freedom of choice when it relates to a parent and their child's health and welfare within the school system. We feel that our freedom of choice has become overreached by the recent requirements in the school system. We have realized the effects that it is having on our kids from last year's requirements. They are uncomfortable. They are totally unnecessary. This requirement causes stress, anxiety, and division amongst the students, and in some cases, the extreme intimidation from some of the staff members through the enforcement of this requirement. Once again, I can only speak for my family. I cannot speak for any other parents or any other students of this district.
We agree.
They may agree or disagree, and that is their freedom of choice. We know what's best for our kids, and we know we should judge for ourselves what is and is not required for them, especially when it comes to their personal health and concerns. When these responsibilities are taken from the parents, it is transferred to this institution, which may or may not hold the same values and principles as the parents, and then it becomes indoctrination. Farmington and the Farmington School District, I believe, is still the greatest place in America to raise your kids and live the American dream as my family has. I hope we maintain the freedom to live in harmony and to have the freedom to choose what's best for our families. I am just one voice for one family, but I am a firm believer that bad things happen when good people do and say nothing. It is not my purpose here today to stir the pot, and I don't involve myself in the political spectrum. I am simply here to voice the concerns of my family in the hopes they will be recognized and considered when making critical decisions that pertain to the students and their health of this great district. You know, I grew up here. I remember one time whenever I was a kid, I believe it was around 1969. I grew up over in a small subdivision on the east side of town. And I remember that year because there was one of our neighborhood kids that contracted the chickenpox. And my mother and some of the mothers of the other people in our neighborhood gathered up, and we all went over and we all contracted chickenpox from this kid. And that's the way that they did it. It was my mother's choice. Now one of the reasons that I remember this so well is because it was the same time when we landed on the moon. And I remember that I was young. I was probably about 4 years old. But we all gathered together and we watched TV and we watched the moon landing together when we all had the chickenpox. Well, we all recovered, of course. You know, we have the good Lord give us a perfectly good immune system. But my point to this is that I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist. I'm a carpenter and a farmer. But it was my mother's choice to decide what to do with us. She had other alternatives, but she had the choice, and she made the decision that it was best for me and my brothers to contract the chicken pox. And that was her choice. She had other alternatives, but she didn't. The government didn't tell her what to do. The school district didn't tell her what to do. She did it from her own personal reasons as a parent. And that is my point here. And I thank you very much for allowing me